Hi everybody, Dr. Daniele Gambero, the Propenomist here. Do you like our Propenomy Bites? Make sure you will support us. Two ways. Comment below. Tell us if we need to improve anything, if we are missing something. Two, subscribe our channel and push also notification. You will immediately know when we are uploading the latest episode of Propenomy Bites. Remember, it's daily, Monday to Friday. Good morning, happy Monday, almost the end of February. Welcome to Propenomy Bites. I am Dr. Daniele Gambero, the Propenomist, and I'm here today with you to comment, as usual, some of the news in the paper and in the internet, radio and TV included. First of them all, highway concessionaire and highways owner are under the magnifying lens of the government. Government is thinking to take over those tolls highway to comply with one of the promises in the PH manifesto before G14 happened. They were promising to abolish or to regulate in a different way the tolls charges, and tolls are definitely a consistent component of a family budget where both husband and wife are working. Doing this, if you remember, I keep on talking about affordable homes or rising the per capita income or reducing the costs for the Malaysian household. This move of the government is definitely towards reducing the cost. If I live in PJ or in Sri Petaling or in the southern part of KL and I need to go and work in Port Klang every day, I easily spend something like, I think 15, 16 ringgit every single day I go to work, because there are a number of tolls that all the way I need to pay. Government has been opening talks with Gamuda at the moment, involving 4 major highways. One is the LDP, one is the Sprint, one is the Kesas, and one is the Smart Tunnel. See how this will end up and what will happen. For sure, in terms of stock market, tolls concessionaires are feeling a bit of pressure, because these talks are definitely pulling back interest from investors, afraid that the share value will drop. Interesting news, construction industry is taking again the page, the news attention due to a number of mega projects that are at the moment undergoing, and some of them under discussion to be revived or not. We are talking about ECRL, of course, which is one of the very big ones. HSR has been confirmed will start in a couple of years and will be then completed by 2030, if I'm not wrong. We have undergoing in this moment MRT Line 2, we have the LRT Line 3, we have the SUKE, S-U-K-E highway, we have the Duke 3, we have a number of infrastructure. I am moving around the Greater KL quite often for my meetings and my appointments during the day, and believe me, it's hard to find a stretch of 5 kilometers of road without construction works. So that means construction is moving quite consistently towards the green, towards the positive side. Shares are moving up, definitely, so positive for the country. I will always recommend, let's wait for news to be confirmed before either shouting for joy or crying for desperation. I'm talking about the ECRL. We have still about 1 week, 2 weeks of waiting time before knowing how the whole discussion will end up. Let me see. Oh yeah, related to the ECRL, How I look at it, the negotiation is proceeding. Chinese have been clearly stating that they are willing to reduce the initial cost of about 80 billion considerably, and at the same time they are offering, as a token of appreciation to Malaysia in terms of getting revived this ECRL project, this huge financing under the so-named Panda bonds at a very convenient interest rate. Okay, this shows clearly, point one, interest of China in Malaysia, for Malaysia. Malaysia is a strategic commercial partner. We, as I keep on saying, we are in one of the key strategic points of the Belt Initiative, Belt Road Initiative. The Belt, the sea, the maritime Silk Road pass through the Strait of Malacca, and in the Strait of Malacca, Malaysia has a huge component. Point one. Point two, Malaysia is doing pretty well. Beside what a lot of people are keep on saying, I've been receiving some negative comments to my positive posting in social media about Malaysia. We shouldn't focus our attention on public debt only, or this 0.7 decrease of CPI in the month of January, talking about deflation. News people are always ready to jump on this negative news. But again, let's make a bit of comparison with other countries in the region. And when I talk about region, I talk about Southeast Asia. If we look at this chart that I've been showing you already few times, this is clearly showing how much Malaysia is ahead of all our neighborhood. You see, we are at 11,000 plus US dollar per capita income compared to Vietnam, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, all the other neighboring countries, which are between half and less than half. Myanmar, for an example, is 1,484 US dollar per capita income in 1 year. We are at $11,000. For sure, we still have a long way to go to match the $55,000 of Singapore. But we are in the right path, in the right direction. So let's have a very, very broad view on Malaysian performance. Do not focus too much on one single information or on one single negative news. Talking about deflation, a lot of economists are looking into this. In January, our CPI, our inflation has been decreasing 0.7%. And a lot of people say, oh, people are spending less, there is a risk of recession, there is a risk of stagnation, there is. I fully, 100% agree with what our MOF Minister of Finance, Ling Wan Eng, is saying. He is clearly stating that the country has been strongly expanding its economy. The last year, that has been one of the worst in the last 7-8 years, Malaysia has been managing to bring back home a 4.7 rise in the GDP, which means per capita income. Remember, per capita income is strictly linked to growth of GDP. So this is moving forward. The falling prices, he is saying, the falling prices is due to cheaper input prices. The RON 95. Can you remember in October, November, how much was the cost of filling up your tank and how much is today? Huge difference, right? So again, look at all data. During another note that he is saying and finds me 100% agree, During the global financial crisis 2009, Malaysia suffered a recession with the GDP, gross domestic product, contracting by 5.8, then 3.7, and then only towards the end of 2009, 1.1 decrease. Now, how is our GDP? Has been closing the last quarter last year better than expectations. And the data that the government is compiling for this quarter, the one in which we are at month 2 of the first quarter, Guaneng is saying is giving a positive outlook. So let's see and look at the real number before talking too much. Unfortunately, a negative news about a project that I'm always sad when these things happen, because are involving purchasers, people that have been putting their sweat savings in purchasing a property. Now there is a project in KLCC area under PRG development. The project name is Picasso Residence, that has been delayed in terms of delivery. It's not abandoned, very clearly, but it's delayed. So showing that there is quite a strong pressure due to unsold unit for high-end development. Last but not least comment, as usual, we talk about my good friend or enemy, Donald Trump. The distraction wave of globalization. Can Trump make a deal with China? Well, if he changes his mindset, yes. Otherwise, it will be quite hard. The author of this article, Andrew Sheng and Xiao Geng, are closing their article with an extremely good thought, loud thought, saying, ending the Sino-US trade war will require considerable statesmanship on the part of Trump and the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Statesmanship. I would say worldmanship, because we are together on this earth. We cannot pretend to be on ourselves as Donald Trump has been doing. You cannot cut yourself out from climate change, from CO2 emission, from pollution, from plastic bottle in the oceans, and all the other things that are happening. If you close yourself off out of it, then you will generate a much worse problem. They close by saying, beyond that, both sides, Chinese and US, need to recognize that supporting global peace and prosperity requires less ideology and more respect for diversity of political, social and cultural systems. Hello, respecting each other is too important. Above all, when we are talking about the two superpowers on this earth. If these two guys start slapping each other, well, there is no umbrella that will save all of us. All right? So let's pray God that China and US will cool down and come to a conclusion, a positive conclusion on the trade war end by the end of March. Few days to see if it is coming. All right? This is all for today. I hope you have been finding, I always give a bit of a propenomy interpretation to all this. Hope you find it interesting. Remember to leave the comment below, and once you're watching this in YouTube, remember to subscribe our channel, Ray Group MY, one word, Ray Group MY. All right? See you all tomorrow morning at 11, and this is all for today. Ciao, Daniele Gambero.